What's up, guys? It's Greg, and I'm pissed about all this alpha male crap, and I'm gonna talk about it today. So I'm a pretty conservative person, and I've been doing a lot of videos about how terrible the entertainment industry has gotten, and Disney and Marvel are terrible. So now YouTube thinks that I want to see content about how to be a ultra alpha sigma superman. I'm very bothered by these guys, so I'm going to talk about it and hopefully get some of you fellas back on the right track to being a real man. Another big catalyst for this video is this upcoming possible fight between these two boys, Jake Paul and Andrew Tate. They both have a lot of money and fame, and they claim to love their lives, but apparently they need the validation that comes with winning a boxing match against the other one. That sounds very confident and manly.
Mission failed!
Folgers today, because I'm a basic man's man, but with a splash of half and half, because I ain't got shit to prove. Now, typically, when I see guys chasing after this alpha stuff, they usually want to be like Patrick Bateman or Tyler Durden or the Joker for some reason. I don't know why you want to be a villain. Or that guy from the Peaky Blinders, looked it up, Tommy Shelby. Tate's public persona is about as close as any living person has gotten to embodying the fantasy that these dudes have. So Tate is obviously the most famous of these bros, and I will have more nuanced thoughts on him later in the video, but the internet is full of these supposed masculine gurus, and there are just as many sad dudes lapping this crap up. Here's what really grinds my gears the most about these alpha bros. They're right. Partially. They began correctly, but then they went off the cliff and led the rest of the lemmings right along with them. The reason I say these guys are partially correct is because they have correctly identified a very serious problem facing modern men. They're weak. More than that, they're lazy, they're listless, they're vaguely angry, but they don't know why. Sometimes we see these feelings bubble out in really horrific ways. And that's what movies like Taxi Driver and American Psycho and Fight Club are trying to warn you about. Men are currently in kind of a bad spot, and that's when these brofessors swoop in and encourage the guys to exercise, build their confidence. They show them this fantasy lifestyle of toned muscle and cool cars and friendly women. They sell the lie that this lifestyle is the ultimate goal and the mark of manhood. I actually used to agree with that goal. When I was 14, I wanted to live in Lara Croft's mansion and train with her for combat and be friendly with her. It's like everybody else. Sports cars and busty companions are the dreams of lustful boys, not men. So they start right, but this is where things go wrong. Among other things, a real man generally should be an able-bodied protector, a confident leader, and a fiscally apt provider. So by inspiring men to work out, gain confidence, and hustle hard for money, these bro gurus, if you will, seem to be on the right track, right? Wrong, obviously. Why else would I make the video? The problem with these alpha guys is that the motivation is on self. So the motivation is incorrect. So the end product is warped. The Niños only get about halfway. Those qualities are tools for a greater purpose, not the goal themselves. So, confident leader. A man is supposed to lead his family. Now, family is going to be a constant topic here because a lot of these guys call themselves alpha. But you can't be an alpha if you don't have a pack to lead. It's right in the definition. Let's get a second opinion. Keith, who are these guys leading? You're not going to argue with Keith. Most of you are not alphas. You're puppies, bravely barking at all the other mutts through the picket fencing that is your keyboard. Oh, I'm alpha. I'm sigma. Bro, you're iota at best. Greek alphabet burns. A leader does need to be confident and decisive. This is not a popular opinion in modern society, but somebody has to be in charge of a household. While you should always be keeping the needs and the feelings of your family in mind, sometimes there is not a clear agreement or a clear path forward. As a man, it is your job to confidently make that call and forge that path. Buck stops with you, bucko. The problem with the modern alpha is that he is not inspiring confidence to those that he leads. Keith just explained who that is. He has gone beyond confidence into ego. I'm the prize, he brazenly asserts to himself in the mirror. Because no real woman is putting up with that self-inflated horse shit. He doesn't want the responsibility of leadership. He just wants the status. A man does need to be sure. His job as a leader requires it. But a good leader is a servant, not a dictator. This is why the alphas miss the mark. A man also needs to be an able-bodied protector. Now, you might think that I'm just jealous of these alpha dudes who are jacked because of this fabulous dad bod that I'm sporting. And you would be partially correct. You're a lot correct. Sadly, many things in my life have a higher priority than exercise. One of those things is cheeseburgers. It's not my fault though, I'm just following the rules. Hang on, let me explain. Okay, let's see here. Upon hitting level 32, white male character with a suburban background is required to take at least one of the following skills: podcasting, historical wars, home brewing, lawn maintenance, or outdoor chef. In addition to smoking various meats, I also got one of those Blackstone griddles. So I'm doing smash burgers like twice a week. Come on over to my place. Nevertheless, it is true that exercise is a good thing, and all men, including myself, should be engaging in it. It builds the aforementioned confidence. It produces the energy that a man needs to lead. It makes him physically able to be a protector, do the heavy lifting that needs done around the house. The benefits are numerous, so why is it so bad to be encouraging these guys to stack the plates? The motivation is the problem behind exercise, not the action itself. Being fit and able to serve the people around you, that's awesome. Building muscle for vanity just so you can look at yourself, that's gross. We once again see the dude bros take a good thing and poison it by making it about themselves. Muscles are just a tool to do your job as a man. So I didn't know a whole lot about Andrew Tate, and I watched that 5-hour long interview he did with Patrick Bet-David. Figured I'd just get a crash course into his mindset. At one point, he tells this story about a guy emailing him, saying that he's thinking about ending his life. Tate responds to him. He says, listen, make me a promise before you do anything. Get a 6-pack. Send me some pictures of it, and then we'll go from there. He says later on, this guy messages him, tells him, I'm feeling better than I've ever felt. Completely turned his life around. It was a really cool, wholesome story. And then Tate ruined it when he dislocated his shoulder, patting himself on the back, talking about, I'm out here saving lives. Jake Paul is just a little bitch hiding behind his microphone. He's such a top G. See how ego just ruins a good thing? I watched that interview, and afterward, I don't think that Tate is some misogynistic, woman-hating, evil, corrupt, bad guy. He's just your regular common bachelor who grew up poor, sees material success as the goal for everything, and needs constant external validation. It's nothing really special, either good or bad. I honestly don't see what the big deal is. What I will give him is that this massive cancellation actually kind of seems to give him some credit. I heard about him in the spring of 22, just like the rest of you, and I thought, oh, okay, another showy internet tool. And then I kept scrolling. Then he was suddenly canceled everywhere all at once. And that is actually what made me pay attention. Kind of made me wonder, like, what's so special about this particular bag of douche that the powers that be would move against him so decisively? That's what made me watch the interview in the first place. Guess we'll find out later. I ran out of coffee. Now I gotta make some tea. A man is supposed to go out and make a ton of money. I mean, especially if he's providing for his family, right? Wrong! If I set up a question, I'm probably going the other way. Right here, I was gonna do like a David Goggins impression, but he's always running, and I don't do that. We talked about the cheeseburgers. I could try doing like a Jocko joke, but he could literally hunt me down. Like, he seriously knows how. That shit's scary. Irish breakfast time. So the money one is kind of a tricky, nuanced subject because as a man, it is your job to be a provider. But you have to be a provider to others. Showing off your cool cars, your designer clothes, and whatever other crap you're flexing with is only providing for your own ego. It's a tricky one, but some guys actually fall into the trap of showing off for everybody else by way of the fancy crap they buy their family.
Very expensive.
But usually the pit that most guys dig for themselves is working constantly, thinking they always need to be making more money. You have to know why you need the money so you know how much is enough. Otherwise, you're chasing a goal you can never actually hit. The other problem with hustling all the time to make money is that if you're constantly working or sleeping, then you're not providing your family with the other things they need, like your presence. Look, guys, your job as a man is fucking hard, and I won't sugarcoat that. It's my job to serve and provide for my family in every single way. Fiscally, emotionally, spiritually. I'm on that Melchizedek shit. Come get on this level, fellas. Greek alphabet burns and Old Testament references. That's why you're here. Smash like. Gentlemen, I want to tell you, if you're on the alpha train and you've made it this far in the video, I have excellent news. You're already halfway to success. If you've been hustling hard, bigging up your chest, getting those gains, then you already have some of the tools that you need for real male success. Now, all you gotta do is use those tools to serve other people, not yourself. Look, service is the point of life. The manliest man that ever lived agrees on this point. This dude had a motto. He went around telling people, I'm here to serve, not be served. Hey there, bros. It's Youth Pastor Greg here. Listen, I know there are some alpha males out there, but today I want to talk to you about the alpha and omega male. His name was Jesus, and his bros, they were after some pretty serious gains of righteousness. No cap. Fellas, this guy was the pinnacle of being a man, and he was all about service over self. You can't miss if you follow that pattern. What's that? You don't follow Jesus? No, that's cool. Have fun in hell, sinner. No problem. Islam apparently has a long tradition of what they call the greatest struggle, or jihad nafs, which is the struggle against self. Buddhism is pretty much completely about letting go of yourself and serving other people. The Gita has more quotes about selfless service than Durga has arms. Basically, every major school of thought in history extols the virtues of getting outside yourself and humbly serving other people. Except hedonists and nihilists, but seriously, you want to be like those people? All of the things that these alpha boys are chasing after are pointless because they've never given them a purpose. Gentlemen, I implore you, go serve the people around you and stop worshiping at the altar in the mirror. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time.